Hey, Bayek, it's me, Ian. And in today's video, well, I'm continuing my look at classic Doctor Who, the third and fourth Doctor stories, the golden era, brilliant. Anyhow, today's story is The Talons of Weng-Chiang from 1977. Yes. This is an amazing episode. It's just an all-time classic, often considered, like Genesis of the Daleks and all these other brilliant stories, as one of the best ever. Now, it was transmitted on the 24th of February to the 2nd of April, 1977. 6 episodes, and this is season 14. Now, before this, we've had the brilliant Robots of Death, which I reviewed quite a long time ago. That's why I have jumped from the face of evil in the fourth stories to this. And then after this, we are going to get the Horror of Fang Rock, which is a great story as well. That's the next one. But this is also an interesting point as well in Doctor Who history. But I'll just get into that because it is written by the wonderful Robert Holmes again. Just absolutely fantastic. Also, this is the last production that Philip Hinchcliffe is involved with, and this is his farewell. He hands over the reins to Graham Williams after this. And I'd just like to say his influence has been absolutely amazing. He's just produced such a wonderful story. It's something you wouldn't get nowadays. You really wouldn't. And what can I say? He was just absolutely brilliant. The director now is David Maloney again. Now, David Maloney, another great director for Doctor Who, and again involved in a lot of classics. It goes back to The Mind Robber from 1968, Second Doctor stories. The Crotons, which was 1968 to 1969. And of course, the epic The War Games from 1969. Then he was Planet of the Daleks, he directed. And of course, here it is, Genesis of the Daleks. He was the director of that. And then, of course, not only that, he also directed Planet of Evil, 1975, and the brilliant, again, a classic story, The Deadly Assassin from 1976. Also, I didn't know this, he was the producer for 3 seasons of Blake 7 as well. Wow, what a director. The music is by Dudley Simpson again. Unmistakable, isn't it? It's just unmistakable. And let me just get into the cast. Tom Baker, he plays the 4th Doctor. Totally established. And it's Louise James again playing Lula. And she's really getting into the role brilliantly. Fantastic. And this story really brings out even more about her, which is great, because seeing her having to don Victorian costumes and society, you get this wonderful My Fair Lady kind of idea. of making her into a lady. It's quite there. It's all there. It's interesting, but she's a brilliant, strong character. As we see her reacting to all the things that are going on, she's just brilliant, and that is all down to Robert Holmes as a scriptwriter as well. The way he's written a character. And then we've got Christopher Benjamin playing Henry Gordon Jago. And he's one of those characters that just really stands out. He was in Inferno 1970 and also The Unicorn and the Wasp. But of course, this role really was so loved by fans that he's ended up doing Big Finish dramas. Big Finish are great at doing this, continuing, and he does those dramas with, or did sadly, Trevor Baxter, who plays Professor Lightfoot. They were a great team, and obviously they were seen by the fans who absolutely loved it. They had a little set of comedy elements to this, and they were brilliant. And Trevor Baxter also reprised the role of Professor Lightfoot in these wonderful Big Finish audio productions. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful it was. And they're legends. Yes, this is what they keep alive. This is the power. But this story, they really work so well. It's just, and it's kind of a light relief in some ways to all these sort of, sci-fi horror, you could call it, and with historical sci-fi horror. Yes, it's all in there. Next, we have got John Bennett, who plays Li Chang. He's the mysterious illusionist, hypnotist, and interesting that I was looking at his filmography. He was in Amicus anthology, The House That Dripped Blood, from 1971. He was also been in The Fifth Element, Luc Besson's 1997 film. He was in The Pianist, 2002. Excellent. But of course, there's certain criticisms about him playing a Chinese character. But anyhow, I don't want to go too much in that, but that was seen as a criticism. Then we've got another interesting actor. I'm just going to... Deep Roy, he plays Mr. Sin. Now, Deep Roy is a Kenyan British actor, puppeteer, stuntman, and he plays this. He's 4'4", and he plays Mr. Sin. It's a brilliant role. It really is. But his whole career is a lot of sort of stuntman kind of roles. But he was in a role in Star Trek 2009 revival, Star Trek Into the Darkness 2013, and also Star Trek Beyond 2016. He was in those films. Yeah, fantastic. Love it. And then we've got Michael Spice playing the villain, Weng-Chiang, or also Marcus Grill. Now, it's his voice you might recognize because he was in The Brain of Morbius from 1976, the brilliant, another important Doctor Who story from the 13th season. I've reviewed that, and he's the voice of Morbius. Wow, it's so powerful. Really is wonderful. Now, let's see. The locations are interesting in this. You've got 6 episodes. Now, you've got the Royal Theatre in Northampton. That's quite a major backdrop as well. You've got St. Crispin's Hospital on Northampton. They did a big show on Northampton area, which again just adds so much to these stories. And also they did quite a bit around Wapping in London. So they did use London as locations for various bits and pieces as well, which is great. As well as utilising, as usual, the BBC studios. And they were able to do a great job with the sets and everything. This looks like a great production. Apart from, of course, people are going to say, what about the rat? Yes, we'll talk about that soon. But yes, the special effects, I still think are great. What they do, what they manage to do, and it's all about atmosphere as well. And I know that is a big sort of point that people call out about the rat, the giant rat. Yes. So I'll just talk about the story. We'll go into what the basic story is. Well, Doctor and Leela, they arrive in Victorian London, which of course is immediately going to bring all sorts of things in it. And basically they find themselves in the middle of all this sort of things going on. You've got missing girls. Oh, yes. You've got mutilated bodies. You've got vicious Chinese gangs. And what at the centre of it all is the Palace Theatre with this hypnotist and illusionist, Li Chang, who, well, he's a bit of a bad one, it seems. He's up to no good. Hey. And, of course, this all leads us to something even more behind all this, because it leads us to a 51st century evil criminal who's come back in time posing as the god Weng-Chiang. And, of course, he wants to get hold of his time machine cabinet because he is slowly dying. He's losing. He needs energy, and he's losing. He's not getting it. He's going to die, but he's fighting against that, and he needs to get hold of this time machine. So that's that. But anyway, there we are. That's the basic story. But you've got 6 episodes, and it just goes by so good. It just so quickly it goes right for. I just so absorbed that this is one of the best productions, best stories you'll ever see in Doctor Who. It knocks spots off most of what we get from Doctor Who nowadays. It towers above them in what it does. I mean, and also all the references you get the sort of, straight away you've got this feeling in London. You get the Jack the Ripper, Sherlock Holmes. I mean, look at the Doctor. He's like Sherlock Holmes, isn't he? You get the Phantom of the Opera influence. You get Fu Manchu. Yes, you see all these wonderful things. And you're getting dark horror stuff. You're getting the opium dens. You're getting the women missing, as say Jack the Ripper. And then you've got this yellow peril thing, which was quite a big thing in sort of Victorian times and was seen as it's all fascinating stuff. Now, some people again have criticised it for being racist and being because about Chinese portrayal and all that kind of in a white actor, but that's just how people are, and it was in that particular time. We shouldn't criticise it in that way. It's a great story. I absolutely love it. We just take it what it is. The rat, of course, yes, but hey. Well, that's what it is, isn't it? Yes. But this is a tremendous. I mean, all those things you could just talk about it and go into depth, and it's fantastic. It's a great story. It's one of the greatest stories. I know The Robots of Death, which was before, is one of my all-time favourite stories, and this is in there. I just love this. Absolutely love it. So that's the DVD, and it's got 2 discs, and it's got extras on the disc. But then it's on Blu-ray because it's in this. I always show this, and it's got all those documentaries that were made. There's a lot of special, and the special effects have been updated as well, if you've got that option to watch on that. So this first came out on VHS in 1988 with some cuts as well. Then DVD 2003, and then 2010 DVD with a special release. But here it is. This is well worth going to get. Here it is. Brilliant. I say it's updated. Great season. Oh, yes. What a wonderful season 14. It's classic. I know I'm going on. I better stop now. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and, we'll let you know when I produce these videos. And if you like this video, please give it a like. It gets it out onto YouTube and into algorithms and all that. And if you've got any comments, please put your comments down. I really do enjoy reading your comments. And it all costs notes. And you can't say further than that, can they? Buy it, you can't. So, well, that's it. Yes. So all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.